Bo Nix just had his John Elway moment. Sean Payton just accomplished a major feat. The Broncos just had their Super Bowl contending stamp put on them, and Nik Bonitto just had his Defensive Player of the Year moment. I'm going to break all of that down from Philadelphia on the field of where the Broncos just completed a 14-point comeback against the Philadelphia Eagles in the biggest game that they have had in over a decade. I'm going to break all of that down starting now, and let's start with Bo Nix. The last time the Broncos beat the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia, you have to go back nearly 4 decades. It was 1986 when John Elway was the Broncos quarterback. That's the last time the Broncos beat the Eagles in Philadelphia. Entering Sunday, the Broncos were 1-6 all time against the Eagles in Philadelphia. Make that 2 wins for the Broncos. Only John Elway and Bo Nix have completed that feat. And that, when John Elway did that in 1986, that was his first Pro Bowl season. This win against the Eagles could be Bo Nix's Pro Bowl moment to not just catapult him this season and to have his season take off this year, but to catapult his entire career, because Bo Nix struggled this game in the first half. Even through the first 3 quarters, he was at 48% completion midway through the third quarter. But in the fourth quarter, he became John Elway and had his fourth quarter comeback moment. He went 9 for 10 for over 120 passing yards, led not 1, not 2, but 3 scoring drives on 3 opportunities, including 2 touchdown drives and almost a game-winning drive at the very end where they almost ran the entire clock off, but instead extended their lead. It was masterful from Bo Nix in that fourth quarter. Had 1 touchdown, was able to get a 2-point conversion where his coach put so much confidence in him to go for it for 2 when the Broncos were down 17-16 after scoring a touchdown. Sean Payton went for 2 because he believed in Bo Nix. Bo Nix was cold-blooded in this game, and he was the reason the Broncos were able to make the big comeback on the offensive side. He just had his John Elway moment. Let's flip over to the defensive side where Nik Bonitto did a masterful job. This Broncos pass rush did a terrific job, and this Broncos defense did a great job against Philadelphia's offense, which includes weapons like Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts. The Philadelphia Eagles never had a tush push in this game. Think about that. The team that is known for doing the tush push, the Broncos were able to keep them out of 3rd and short situations, so much so that they never had a tush push. And at the beginning of the game, the Broncos did give up some points. They gave up some big plays, but they responded. In the fourth quarter, when it mattered most, the Broncos defense held strong and kept the Eagles out of the end zone in the fourth quarter. While the offense was making the comeback, the defense was even just as good as the offense. And the Broncos defense, initially, it seemed like the pass rush wasn't there from the Broncos defense, but that's because they were containing Jalen Hurts. They made him stay in the pocket, made him be a pocket passer. That's exactly what the Broncos wanted to do. And at the exact same time, they made Saquon Barkley a non-factor on the ground. Yes, he did have a touchdown in the game, but that came through the air on that pass from Jalen Hurts to Saquon Barkley to give the Eagles that 17-3 lead. But the Broncos defense shut Saquon Barkley down on the ground, made Jalen Hurts one-dimensional, and that was the key to the game. That's what they wanted to do coming into the game, and they were able to accomplish that. Then the Broncos pass rush absolutely came alive, getting to Jalen Hurts not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 times, sacking him in this game, specifically in the second half. And Nik Bonitto racking up 2.5 sacks, had an absolutely massive game. This was his Defensive Player of the Year moment. Entering Sunday, he had the 4th best odds to be the Defensive Player of the Year. After this game, with Jim Nantz, Tony Romo calling the game where most of the nation was watching it, he is going to climb up those ranks, and the Broncos could have back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year awards for only the 4th time in NFL history. Entering this year, there had only been 3 times when there had been a back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year from the same team. This could be a 4th, as Nik Bonitto, as Sean Payton said, is a super pass rusher. That's exactly what he is, and look how far he's come. From 1 sack his first season to 8 sacks his second season, 13.5 last year, and he's already almost at half of that number through 5 games this year. Jalen Hurts is incredibly tough to sack. Not when Nik Bonitto is on the other side. Not when Zach Allen is on the other side. And so many Broncos on the defensive side came up absolutely huge. And Nik Bonitto is leading the way for this group. And then when it comes to Sean Payton, he got a major milestone with this game today because he passed his mentor, Bill Parcells, to be the 15th most winningest coach in the regular season in NFL history. This means so much to Sean Payton, who idolizes Bill Parcells. He said the two of them talked about it throughout this week, and Sean gave so much credit to Bill, but Sean deserves a lot of credit for this as well. With over 173 wins in the regular season, it's absolutely incredible what he's been able to accomplish, and he plans on being with the Broncos for many, many more years. And this speaks to just how good of a coach Sean Payton is. He got a game ball for this win after the game. And then one other guy that I have to give a big time shout out to, that's Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton was Bo Nix's go-to in this game. In the first quarter, Cortland Sutton, ball went right through his hands. Bo Nix said, that's not going to stop me. I'm going to continue to go back to my number one target. And Cortland Sutton had nearly 100 yards, 8 catches. He was a monster, including on a crucial 3rd and long near the end of the game. Bo Nix went to him. Sean Payton said he knew Bo Nix was going to go to Cortland Sutton on the 3rd and long near the end of the game. And Bo pushed back and said, I was going to read the defense a little bit. But what did he do? He went to Cortland Sutton, his trusted target. The number of tough catches that Cortland Sutton came up with was absolutely huge. That's why this game isn't just a coming out game for Bo Nix. It's a big time game for Cortland Sutton. He has arrived as not just a number 1 receiver, but a legit, trustworthy, all-star number 1 receiver. Nik Bonitto, he had his Defensive Player of the Year coming out game, and Sean Payton had his arrival game as better than his mentor, Bill Parcells. This game catapults the Broncos into being a Super Bowl contending team, just like Sean Payton said before the season started. After the first 4 weeks, it seemed like that was a laughable matter. Now it's serious. The Broncos just beat the Super Bowl defending champions, one of 2 undefeated teams entering Sunday, and they did it in Philadelphia, a place they hadn't won in 39 years. That shows that the Broncos are Super Bowl contenders. The Broncos might see the Eagles again, and it might be this year in the Super Bowl. Those are the takeaways from Philadelphia after the biggest win the Broncos have had since Super Bowl 50, when Peyton Manning retired.